What is going on, everybody? How is everyone doing today? Today I'm going to be doing my top 10 favorite SH Figuarts Dragon Ball Z figures. This is my favorite figure line. Tamashii Nations is my favorite figure company, but their Dragon Ball Z line is my favorite line. I know it's a lot of people's favorites. I know a lot of people love Dragon Ball Z. This is a very hard list for me because there is just all these figures. I love all of them. They are all such great figures, and plus we have so many new ones coming out starting next month till June, and I don't even know what's going to be released till June. I mean January. I don't even know what's going to be released in February because we're getting the advanced color trunks in January, but we're getting figures from September all the way to January. We're getting 1 to 2 Dragon Ball Z SH Figuarts for all those months. And we're probably going to be getting more in February, March, and so on. So pretty cool that we're going to be getting so many new Dragon Ball Z SH Figuarts figures. But anyway, let's get into the countdown and let me show you guys my number 10 figure, which is the Super Saiyan Gohan figure, which is definitely one of my favorites. A lot of people are probably mad because he should be higher on the list, but for me, Gohan is number 10 because there are so many other Dragon Ball Z Figuarts figures that I love a lot more than this one. But this Gohan figure, I was so happy. It was reissued. The figure was getting extremely crazy in price. I used to have the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive one, and that one I do like the paint job better, so really it would be that one on here. But since I own this figure, I'm just going to show pictures of that I took of my Super Saiyan Gohan figure. But the Gohan figure is a great figure. It is a smaller figure because he was pretty much a kid then. He was, what, 11 years old then? And they just executed this figure very, very well. The articulation is great. The sculpt on the figure is great. It was cool that he came with the cape. It's awesome. You can get him in all these types of poses, like this one right here, the Kamehameha pose right there. But I love how he comes with the two different head sculpts, a regular Super Saiyan and then the Super Saiyan 2 one. I love how he's wearing Piccolo's costume, which he did ask for in the Cell Saga, so they did make it true to the anime, of course. But this is the manga version of the Super Saiyan Gohan figure. But yeah, this is definitely my number 10 figure of my favorite Dragon Ball Z SH Figuarts figures right here, the Super Saiyan Gohan. And the San Diego Comic-Con one would be my favorite, but like I said, since I have this one and pictures of it, I decided to show this one instead. But really, really awesome figure. Definitely pick it up right now if you don't have it. Anyway, let's move on to the next. My number 9 figure is the perfect Cell figure, and this really is a perfect figure. Tamashii Nations executed this figure very, very well. The sculpt on this figure is amazing. All the darker green spots on them, those are all sculpted pieces. So that just Tamashii Nations going that extra mile is incredible that they did that. All those tiny little pieces, all like the lines in the purple are all sculpted and everything. They just did a really great job sculpting this figure, and this was the first villain that we got in the Dragon Ball Z SH Figuarts line, so that's pretty cool that Cell was the first villain, but he did win in a poll that Bluefin Tamashii Nations did for us. But very well made figure. The paint is incredible on it. I love the glossy black on the black parts on the figure. Just an amazing piece right here, and definitely my number 9 and my top 10 favorite Dragon Ball Z SH Figuarts figures. Anyway, let's move on to the next figure. My number 8 figure is the Super Saiyan Goku figure. The San Diego Comic-Con one is cool, but I actually like this one a little better because the hair on the San Diego Comic-Con one, the coloring is a little too not as good as it should have been, but I love this figure. This was one of the very first Dragon Ball Z SH Figuarts figures that was released. This one and the manga version of Piccolo. This is the manga version of the Super Saiyan Goku figure, but this has always been one of my favorite Dragon Ball Z figures right here. They just did an incredible job, especially when you first heard about this line. This was one of the figures, one of the first figures, as I just said, that was released. And when you got this figure and the Piccolo one, you were like, holy crap, this new figure line is freaking amazing. They just made an incredible figure. Like, look at all the wrinkles in his gi. Very, very cool looking figure. The sculpt is very well done. I know a lot of people don't like the knee joints, but I can live with it. I like the coloring of the hair better on this one, but it does look so much better on the Awakened Warrior Goku, and I think that's going to be my favorite Dragon Ball Z figure arts figure when that figure is released. But this one, he was limited with accessories because it was some of their first figures, so we only had a few interchangeable hands and one, and he came with two interchangeable faces, this yelling one and then the normal one right here, of course. But yeah, this is definitely one of my favorite Dragon Ball Z figures. That's why it is number 7 on my favorite Dragon Ball Z SH Figure Arts figures. Anyway, moving on to the next one. And figure number 7 is definitely the Trunks figure. When this figure was first released, it was released right after the Super Saiyan Vegeta one and came out before the Perfect Cell one. But this was like the 5th or 6th, I think, because the Super Saiyan 3 Goku, I think, was right before Trunks. Yeah. So when this figure was released, this was the one figure that came with a ton of accessories, and when you got this figure, you were like, holy crap. And it was really cool because it came with the regular Saiyan head sculpt right here, which is on the left, and then he came with the Super Saiyan head sculpt as well, with a bunch of interchangeable faces. So it came with 10 interchangeable faces, 5 for each one, so that was really cool seeing that. This was one of the first figures that came with so many accessories. The sculpt was very well done on it. It's just his arms didn't have as good of articulation as some of the previous and some of the current ones, Dragon Ball Z figure arts figures that are around now, because his jacket kind of hinders it a little bit. And they did something new with the toe articulation that I didn't really like that much either. But other than that, I think they did a great job on this figure. I was so happy when this figure was released. I don't have the Trunks figure right now, so I'm waiting for the advanced color to be released in January. That's why I'm using the stock photos here. But I used to have this figure. I used to have every single figure. But sometimes went through tough times and had to end up selling them, which I always regretted. But he's actually going down in price, the one that is currently available right now, since the advanced color Trunks is going to be released soon. So it's cool that we're getting the advanced color. It pretty much is a reissue because there'd be no other reason why the advanced color Trunks would be getting released. It's because we all kept asking for a reissue, so they just did a recolor of the figure for us so we could get another Trunks figure. But yeah, he's definitely number 7 on my list, and I can't wait for this is the advanced color Trunks right there, and this one I like a lot more than the one that is available to get right now. So Trunks is number 7 on my favorite Dragon Ball Z SH Figure Arts figure list. Anyway, let's keep moving on to the next one. And number 6 on my list is definitely got to be the Android 16 figure. This figure is very underrated. I think Tamashii Nations did an incredible job with it. I love the paint on it. I love the green plastic they used for the green parts. I think they executed this figure very, very well. I love how you get the battle damaged head sculpt that Cell caused when he battled with Cell. Really, really cool figure, and I don't think enough people appreciate the Android 16 figure. It is a very well-made figure. The only downside to this figure that I think is that he didn't come with enough accessories for the price tag of what he was priced at. So that was a little bit of a letdown, how he only came with a little bit of accessories, but he did come with a bunch of interchangeable heads, and he only had, a pair of fists and a pair of open hands. So that was the only letdown. I wish he would have came with, like, some blast effects for his arm cannons. I think that would have been so much better if they at least included that. But other than that, the figure is amazing. That's why it's number 6 on my list, because he's also one of my favorite characters, and I really love how they gave us the option to use his arm cannons right here in this picture right here. I think that is really cool that Tamashii Nations was able to figure out a way to do that for us. So I really do appreciate that they did that. They really know what they're doing when it comes to the Dragon Ball Z SH Figure Arts line, and Android 16 is one of my favorite Dragon Ball Z SH Figure Arts figures, and that's why he is number 6 on my list. Anyway, let's keep moving on. Number 5 on my list is another very underrated SH Figure Arts figure, which is the San Diego Comic-Con Piccolo figure. Very underrated figure right here. Just the repaint on this figure even the manga one is very underrated, but the paint on this one compared to the first release one, which is the manga version, Tamashii Nations did a phenomenal job with the repaint anime accurate Piccolo right here. They just really killed it with this figure. They did an amazing job with it. Came with all the same accessories as the first release Piccolo, and he does come with a decent amount of accessories. You get his cape as well, but the repaint on this figure alone is worth having in your collection. They just did a great job on it. I don't know how many times I could praise the paint job on this figure, but they just really knocked it out of the park with this one. The sculpt on this figure is very, very well done. I like how you can see Piccolo's antennas right there. But they just did a really great job with this Piccolo figure, and like I said, he is a very underrated figure. He has a bunch of accessories, sculpt and paint, very well done. Even on the first release one, the paint is very well done on that one. This one just has a 10 times better paint job, plus it's the anime accurate one, but it is a very well made figure, and I definitely recommend you guys to get this one. Piccolo is number 5 on my top 10 favorite Dragon Ball Z SH Figuarts figures. Number 5 on my list because this is an amazing figure. Like I said, very underrated. But anyway, let's keep moving on. And number 4 on my list is another San Diego Comic-Con figure, which is my favorite character, Vegeta. But this figure I never wanted to get, to tell you the truth, because I hated that color scheme from when you first see Vegeta, his first appearance. That's what the San Diego Comic-Con recolor is. I didn't like the color scheme of it, but having this figure in hand in person is an amazing figure. They really did a great job once again with the recoloring of a San Diego Comic-Con figure, Dragon Ball Z figure. Like with the Piccolo one, the Gohan one, and now with the Vegeta one. The Goku one, the Super Saiyan Goku one, I didn't really care for that much. But they did an amazing job with this figure, even though I hate that color scheme. Vegeta has red hair, he's got freaking orange and lime green in his armor. It's just really weird coloring, but the figure is very nice. The paintwork on the figure is very well done. The sculpt on it's very well done. He comes with a ton of accessories, which is really awesome. A really cool blast effect piece as well. But what I really love about this Vegeta figure is the Scouter. The Scouter is such a cool addition to this figure. That's something I really like with the accessories of the figure and how he comes with 2 interchangeable tails. You could have the one wrapped around his waist, or you could have the one that's on there right now like that. But this is my number 4 on my top 5 favorite Dragon Ball Z SH Figuarts figures list. Anyway, let's move on to the top 3 now. And number 3 on the list definitely has to be the legendary Super Saiyan Broly. This is such an amazing piece right here. Tamashii Nations knocked it out of the park with this figure. I love how in his Super Saiyan hair you could see like shades of green in it, because as we all know, Broly's energy, his aura is the color of green. So that's really cool that Tamashii Nations did that. The attention to detail right there. So that's really awesome that they did that for us. Just the sculpt on the figure is very well done. The articulation is amazing on this. I just love how they did it. He's a bigger figure. They never did that with Dragon Ball Z line, but the way they did the articulation and the sculpt and hiding certain joints, they did a very well job with it. And I love that he doesn't come with a ton of accessories, but he comes with a decent amount for him being a bigger figure. But you really do get your money's worth with this character right here. You're not just throwing your money away. I know he's around like $100 now. You're still getting your money's worth, even paying $100. I'll pay $100 for another one because I do need another one for the collection. But even like that red skirt piece right there, that part's articulated as well, so it doesn't hinder his leg articulation, which is really, really cool. And the gold parts, the stuff that's painted, that gold, I love the metallic gold that they use. Those little gems he has looks really, really awesome as well. But this is an amazing piece right here. If you don't have it, you definitely need to pick it up. Just an amazing Broly figure, and that's why he's number 3 on my top 10 favorite Dragon Ball Z SH Figuarts figures. Anyway, let's move on to the last 2. Now down to the final 2, and my number 2 on the list is the new San Diego Comic-Con 2015 Frieza Saga Goku figure. I love the first release normal version Goku figure, but this one I love so much better. I love the belt. I love how he has the symbols on his gi, on the left side of his chest, and on his back. And I love that new interchangeable face as well. I think Tamashii Nations did a great job with this figure. I'd rather have had a different San Diego Comic-Con figure, but this one, they really did a great job with it. I'm very happy that I ended up buying it. I was thinking about passing on it, but I mean, I love Goku as a character. He is one of my favorite Dragon Ball Z characters and one of my favorite characters from anything of all time. So I knew I had to get the figure, and I'm really happy that I did get it. The coloring is slightly different compared to the first release Cell Saga Goku figure. Like his gi is a little darker, the blue and the orange is a lot darker. But the skin tone has nice shading in it and stuff, just like the other one. But this one, you don't really see much shading on his gi or anything. Usually they put a lot of shading in the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive figures, like all throughout the figure. This one they didn't really do it that much, but he comes with the same accessories as the first release one. You just get that extra interchangeable face. But great accessories, great paint, great sculpt, great Goku figure all around, and it is one of my favorite Dragon Ball Z figures. That's why it's number 2 on my favorite Dragon Ball Z SH figure art figures in my top 10. But anyway, let's move on to number 1, which I'm wondering if you guys can be guessing what it is. And my number 1 favorite SH Figuarts Dragon Ball Z figure is, of course, my favorite character, which is the Super Saiyan Vegeta figure. Yes, I love this one a lot more than the Scouter Vegeta. Never been a fan of that armor with Vegeta, the Scouter one from the Saiyan saga, and I never liked his costume from the Boo saga either. I always liked this one, which was from like the Android and through the Cell saga. I always thought it was the coolest, the most badass one, and I was really happy when I first heard about the announcement of this figure when he went up for pre-order. I think it was December 2011 was his release date. I'm pretty sure it was, not 100% positive on that. I remember it was in December though, but I remember how impatient I was for this figure to come out. I never been so impatient for a figure because Vegeta is one of my all-time favorite characters, and he is my favorite character of Dragon Ball Z, of course. But once I got the figure, I was just amazed at how amazing the figure was. I never seen such a cool figure, and I never thought I'd see a 5-6 inch scale of Super Saiyan Vegeta, so I was extremely happy. The paint and sculpt was amazing on the figure, all the accessories he came with, even though he doesn't come with a lot, but back then it was because he was one of the first figures to be released. But I was just amazed at how cool this Vegeta figure was. So he's always been my favorite. I used to own the figure, but I don't own it now. That's why I'm using the stock photos. So it's kind of sad I don't have my favorite SH Figuarts figure, but it is cool that we are getting the unofficial reissue, which is the advanced color, since they can't technically make a reissue of it. So Tamashii Nations is still hooking us up with a new colored version of this Vegeta figure, which is this one right here, which I think looks so much better than the one that is available right now, which is the one I just showed you before. But I think they did an amazing job with this one. I like how the blue's darker. I like how the hair looks. A lot of people like the hair on the other one better because of how it like the shading is, but I think this one looks really, really cool. It's more like golden like, more Saiyan like to me. And he does have the yellow on the tip of his boots, so that's really cool too. And I heard he comes with a couple more accessories. So it's funny because he's getting released in December too, so 4 years later he's getting released again in a different shade of coloring, so that's pretty cool. Can't wait to get this figure, and he will be my favorite figure until the Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan Vegeta will be released, because I know that's going to be my favorite Dragon Ball Z SH Figuarts figure. But anyway, guys, that is my top 10 favorite Dragon Ball Z SH Figuarts figures. Hope you guys enjoyed my video. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, then oh well, I don't really care. But I want to know what your top 10 favorite Dragon Ball Z SH Figuarts are. Let me know in the comments below, because I would like to see your favorite Dragon Ball Z figures as well. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you later.